Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be looking at JASMY. Let's get into the price action and see what's going on. So primarily we're still looking for that potential of looking for a bigger C wave to the upside, which that 1-to-1 would actually bring us towards the zone of this 012911. And we're still looking for that potential, we could even see a bigger breakout to the upside. So for further evidence for this low rather, and looking to see whether we are actually progressing up here in a bigger impulse. Now, the way that we form this structure to the upside, we need to just be a little bit cautious because it is possible that we could actually still be looking at something here where this is an A, B, and a C. If we look to break down one more time, or alternatively, it could be something far more sinister for as long as we actually fail to take this 0.08356 area. This could actually still be a 1, 2, and then we start to break down deeper. But for as long as we hold this low, we can still look for that continuation to the upside. Now, in the previous video, what we were discussing was actually looking for these internals to be looking at this move as potentially a 1, either wave 1 into here, looking for a wave 2, and then looking to extend, or alternatively 1, 2, 3, 4, and looking for this as a fifth wave. Now, if this is looking for a fifth wave here, what we could actually potentially have here is we could have something like this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as an expanding diagonal, in which case this could mean that we've actually completed into this high here. Now, if that's the case, what we could then be looking for is the possibility of actually coming back down deeper here and looking for a move back down into the zone here of this 5821 to this 4861 area. Now, if we do start to break down into this region again, what this could mean is that, what we have here is another 5-wave move to the upside, looking for a 3-wave move down, and then looking for that continuation up. Now, there is potentially a way we could see a direct push to the upside here, where alternatively, this is a wave 1 into here, this is a wave 2, and then basically we'd look at this move slightly different and subdivide it in a little bit of a different way here. Now, if we're looking at that, we were talking about looking for an extension here in this manner where we were going 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're looking for this 1, 6, 1, 8 up here. So this is still viable, but if we were looking at it in this manner, basically what I'd be looking for is that potential that we could actually see, this actually extending up one more time. Now the key level for that as a 1618 would be this 889050. So that would be, a zone we'd be looking for. However, I do think it is more likely that actually we potentially have completed into this high and we could be looking for a 3-wave move to the downside. So that is basically subdividing this again as a 1, 2, and another 1 and a 2, and looking for that potential to actually push up in that manner. So I'm going to show you that way now. So that would be looking at this basically as a 1, 2 here, looking at this as another wave 1, looking for this wave 2. So now we have actually found support here towards this zone of this 700966. Now it's possible this wave 2 could potentially be completed here, but looking at the structure, it would, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another leg to the downside here, coming back down into the zone of this 7019 to this 6522 region. Now, if we do get a move down into this level, some interesting zones would be this 1-to-1, which actually brings us here to this 0672794 region. So this is still viable for as long as we actually fail to take this high again at the 7985. We could still see, one more push to the downside here in a corrective structure. Now, if this is the case, what we could then see here is the fact that we could be setting up for another 1, 2. So this is viable for as long as we hold this 6174, and we'd want to really stay above the 6522. If we start to break down below that, we need to be cautious that we aren't looking for a bigger corrective structure here to the downside. So this is what I'm primarily looking at for a potential breakout here. Looking at this potentially as another 1, 2 here, and then our third wave confirmation would be up here at the 01030. So this is basically going to be our point that we're looking for confirmation of this move, provided two things. We stay above this low, and I wouldn't really want to see us come down too much lower than the 652272. Now, it is always possible within here we could be extending up directly, in which case we could have a series of 1s and 2s here, which could look to push us up directly into some of these key areas. So we need to keep an eye on this. As long as we continue to set these higher lows here, and higher highs, potentially what we could see is this move start to extend out and push to the upside. But we need a bit more confirmation of this at the moment. The problem I have is that we are going to count this as a 1, 2, 1, 2. As well, what we could just have here is A, B, and C. Now, if this is the case, this ties into that idea that we could still see a sell-off here. So it's going to be key to hold these zones if we want to look for that continuation to the upside. If we start to break down and we start to take up this zone of this 6174, and then finally this lower here at this 555779, what this can actually mean is that we are looking at one of two things. So either this is a wave one here and we're getting some kind of flat rejection here, and that would be looking at this move potentially in this manner. So even if we do break down in a bigger way and we do take this low, the bullish count could still stay alive, provided that we stay above this low here, which is this 0423.851. Now, what I'd be looking out for here is, rather than looking at this as extending out, then that this could actually just be an ABC to the upside. So this could be A, this could be B, and then we could be starting to form a five-wave move to the downside here. Now, the typical zone we'd be looking for as a target area would be this 5544 to this 4953 area. So this would be a typical zone we'd be looking at. And really, for as long as we stay below this high, we still need to just be a little bit cautious that we could get a direct breakdown from this point. Now, even if we do push up one more time here, I would still be cautious around this zone of this 833315. This could actually mean that, there's potentially still another leg to this corrective structure, where instead this would then potentially be a WX, and then this is a Y to the upside. Even though, at the moment I'm looking for this is a five-way move to potentially be complete. But if we did push up higher here, this zone could actually be a rejection zone. Now, if we do move up into this area, what we could then see is that five-wave move play out. Or alternatively, for as long as we stay below this 7981, we could see this move start to break down. Now, the key zone here that I'd be looking for as a typical third wave would actually be here, the 638271. Now, the thing is, within this wouldn't actually look to bring us down towards this area that we would typically look for. So it would be potentially either looking out for that, as this is a running flat then, if that's the case, or alternatively, this could just be end up being a zigzag if we fail to actually form this good impulsive structure here. But if we do form five waves down, we'd have to just be a bit cautious on the retracement. If it's just a three-wave move back to the upside, potentially even testing the bottom of this trend line here, what we could see is that we have more downside to come here. So need to just be careful of this. If we do start to break down here, this zone here, the 638.271 is going to be a zone that I'll be considering additional waves to the downside if we start to break down into this area. Now, if we form a five-wave move, come back up, take this high, then we can confirm we've had a flat here, and that would actually be indicating that this has then become a wave two, and then we'd be looking for that much bigger push to the upside, looking for that potential of actually seeing that bigger move here, where our wave three is looking up here for this 01263. Now, obviously, this would adjust depending on exactly where we complete this move. But if we do actually come back down here, so our support zone we could be looking for would be here between this 5821 to this 4861 area. So this kind of ties in with this idea of this typical C wave location. So if we do get a five-wave move down here, it wouldn't actually surprise me if we get something where we get a third wave that actually extends down to this 2618. Then we get a fourth and a fifth. That's how we would get down here if we are actually looking for this corrective structure to the downside. Now, we haven't invalidated that bearish scenario either, where we could actually see a breakdown where we're looking at this potentially as a wave one and a two to the upside, because at the moment we still only have, I mean, we can argue one, two, three, four, and five here, but there is still a bit of overlap, so it is a bit choppy. So we just need to be careful. We haven't actually invalidated by crossing this 836573. So it is still possible that we could either see a one-to-one move to the downside, which would take us back down to these levels of this 33563, or alternatively a bigger five-wave sequence if we start to break down in a bigger way here, which could actually look to take us down to this 220591 area as a 1.618 of this first move. So if we break down into these regions, we'd need to start being careful, because this would be looking for a third wave, we'd look for a fourth, and then a fifth wave again. And this would invalidate all those bullish counts that we currently have. So it's going to be key for us to remain above this 271592 area. for those bullish counts to survive. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on the bell notification so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. Everyone, have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.